Good journalism should challenge people, not just mindlessly amuse them. A quote from Carl Bernstein. Good day, we are from Bachelor of Arts in Journalism 1A, and we will be having an interview with a broadcaster for our final project in Introduction to Journalism and its History. But before we start, here is Loise Dea Cruz to introduce our interview for today.
2021 PMPC Star Awards, Best Morning Show Host, a sportscaster since 2003 from the UAAP Games, PPA, PBA D-League, Shakey's B-League, and UNTV Cup. Rina Villamor Camara is a lady with a pile of skills and know-how that lead her to a spot in the Good Morning Kuya studio. Her wide-ranging catalog of expertise includes project management training, events organizing, sport therapy, sport writing, TV and event hosting, and broadcasting. Currently a morning show host in Good Morning Kuya since 2013 and previously a news anchor for Y News in New and TV. In 2019, she was awarded by the Australian Embassy as one of the women in news and sports in Southeast Asia. She is also a corporate host to some prestigious companies such as Fujitsu International, Hitachi Philippines, Globe, Canon, Philippine Society for Anesthesiologists, and others. She was one the team therapies of talk and text in PPA. She graduating from the University of Santo Tomas and practiced in the field of sport therapy in 2007. Please welcome Mrs. Serena Villamor Camara. Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Loise Dea L. Cruz.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon, Lois, Lhyca, and Olive. Tama ba?
Good afternoon po.
And you have Czarina and Rain.
Good afternoon po. I am Mariehl de Arce.
I am Princess Raincy.
I am Gale Ogaña.
And I am Mariehl Santiago.
To formally start this interview, this is our first question po. What do you think is the biggest challenge you have in this career?
For the biggest challenge, I think it's about learning journalism first. Because I did not, I did not graduate as a com art student. I did graduate as a sports science student. So I think the biggest challenge for me was to learn more about how journalism or journalists would do their work. It's a big task for me. Kasi yung inaral ko is all about science. I was planning to be a doctor. But then again, fate had a different thing for me. When I was in second year college, in USD, they got me as their courtside reporter. And doon nag-start yun. So after being a sportscaster for 10 years, saka lang ako nag-start mag-news sa UNTV because they also gave me the opportunity to do news with UNTV. But my niche talaga is more on the sports field. So my biggest challenge was, even though I'm not a com arts graduate, I have to prove myself to many people that I can do news, the morning news and the nightly news, which I'm doing right now.
And the second question naman po is, how do you address criticism in your profession?
There will be a lot of people who would criticize you, especially when you're a public figure, but you just have to get used to it. Hindi pwedeng pumapatol tayo with the criticisms being thrown at us. So we have to prove them wrong at all times na whatever yung iba to nila sa atin, you have to prove them wrong, that you're the other person around. You're not that person that they're blaming you for who you are, but you're a different type of person. And for us, for me pala, it took a while before I could get used to it. Because to be honest, before, I would also get hurt when I get criticism, especially as a courtside reporter before. Kasi parang there was one instance, I think in Pinoy Sports Forum before, that they would comment na, why did they get a sportscaster na hindi naman com art student? May mga ganon. And they try to compare you with other sportscasters as well. So I think yung isang natutunan ko basically from my dad is not to compare myself to other people and then just to prove the other people wrong. especially when it comes to criticisms.
Good afternoon po, ma'am. My question for you is, the criticism and accusation of journalists being biased and lacking objectivity from the public, particularly on social media, are nothing new. How do you respond to this?
I can only speak for myself. I'm not a biased reporter. I mean, I would say things fairly, and that's how we were trained in UNTV to do things. Na kailangan pag nagbabalita kami, wala kaming pinapanigan. We have to show a straight face to everyone na kahit hindi mo gusto yung binabalita mo, kahit hindi mo gusto yung taong binabalita mo, straight face lang. Na don't show them na galit ka, don't show them na malungkot ka because of what happened. That's fair for us. That's how we were trained in UNTV. And I think that's one thing that journalists should learn also. When it comes to social media, you're free to post your opinions. So the journalists, pwede naman siguro kaming mag-post ng sarili naming opinion on what we think is right, is happening in the country right now. So I guess that's our personal choice and that's our personal space. Social media is different from us on TV. So we have to make a parang borderline between us, the journalists and social media, and the journalists on TV. So what you see on TV is our social media is us. It's basically us. It what makes us unique talaga as an individual. And I think people should just respect it because we're also human beings. We're allowed to have our own opinions also on certain issues.
Thank you po. So, my next question po is, how do you deal with or combat harassment and discrimination at work?
I've dealt with discrimination before when I was still an intern, but it was not as a journalist, no. Siguro because I was the only girl na sports science graduate before. And then lahat ng mga classmates ko were all boys. And they think na hindi ko kaya yung isang task because I'm a girl, mas kaya nila. But I had to prove them wrong. You have to prove them always wrong na hindi kaya ko siya. But as a journalist, I've never felt or I've never had a circumstance wherein I was discriminated. Parang you have to earn it. People should respect you instead of discriminating. So you have to earn respect.
Hello po, ma'am.
Hello po.
My question po is, journalists in this field are frequently referred to as bayaran. How do you handle being accused of this?
Not me. On my part, it's not me. I don't know if there are some journalists na bayaran, but for me, I stand with my dignity not to be bayaran and stand with the truth that I just report what I know is true. So I don't need to be bayaran para sumikat ako. I don't need to be bayaran para makilala ako ng ibang tao. I have my own parang my dad taught me na kailangan meron kang disiplina sa trabaho and kailangan may paninindigan ka. So, wag kang masisilaw sa pera or something like that. I've always stand my ground na hindi ako magiging bayaran. I think there are a couple of journalists na bayaran, but for me, I don't know what to say kasi parang it's me lang eh. I can only say for myself na I'm not bayaran and hindi ako magpapabayad also just to be able to deliver a news or to stop a news.
In regards to this, have you ever experienced being contacted by someone in power because of what you have published, asking you to take it down? If so, can you tell us how you deal with the situation po?
Not yet. I actually have not encountered it yet. But kasi yung mga posts ko sa social media, it's more about casual conversations. It's not political posts on social media. It's more on casual meetings with a politician. So I have not encountered something na gano'n na pinatake down sa akin yung post ko because na-offend sila about my post. Usually, what I take on social media is meeting this politico on a party, or I've attended a meeting and I met this politico, and that's something, I always post something good about someone. I always post the good side of that person.
Hello po. My
Hi.
question is, disinformation or fake news, especially on social media and other digital platforms, is one of the main problems journalism faces in this day and age. What approach do you believe will effectively address this issue po?
It's education. Education for public also. It's all about educating the public na don't believe in fake news. And they should be educated also on what are the legitimate sites and links na i-click lang nila. Because, okay, siguro naglabas ang, kunwari for example, CNN News. May makikita ka dun sa link nila na sobrang dubious siya. It's not the link of CNN. So I think it's more about education for the public, because most of the public in the digital world right now, most of the public would just click any link that they see. And yun nga, marami sa atin yung naniniwala. So I think it's more on getting the public also educated on how to click the wrong links, not to click the wrong links, and of course, kailangan maingat din tayo dun sa paniniwala natin sa ibang mga news. We only have to listen, to see, to watch, to read yung mga legitimate articles from legitimate sources. Kasi 'di ba, ang dami nang kumakalat ngayon na ginagamit yung logo ng ibang company, and then malalaman nyo na lang na hindi pala siya totoo. So it's fake pala. So I think it's more of the public eh. And siguro, also go to good sources na mga websites, not on, I've heard a lot of people getting information from TikTok. So parang sabi ko, TikTok, is that parang fake news din? Kasi syempre, when it's TikTok na, I don't know if it's really, if it's opinionated or if it's a fact na eh. So get from websites na you think will be really helpful for you. Yung mga, you can Google, or may mga newspapers also online, you can read from there, or mga Facebook pages na mga TV sites, you can also watch from there and read from there.
My next question is, what will be the best encouragement you will offer to satisfy your audience?
What do you mean by that? What is the best encouragement to satisfy my audience?
Yung para kung mas maengganyo po silang panoorin po yung news nyo, or yung yung pinapalabas nyo sa TV.
I think you watch a certain show because you like it, or because you like the reporter itself. So I guess it depends on the person who's watching it, kung ano yung gusto niyang makuha ang information from the show itself. So kung sa tingin nila yung show ko will be entertaining, enticing, and informative for them, then please do watch me. But for those na they don't find it entertaining for the morning show, then I'm not gonna force them. I'm not gonna force them to watch it. Parang I just wanted people na who thinks will learn from our show. Yun yung gusto ko. Na parang there's something na may mapupulot ako kay Rina, kaya gusto ko siyang panoorin. Ayoko nung wala, natatawa lang kasi ako sa kanya. Parang gano'n. Gusto ko yung may natututunan sila sa akin. That's why they're watching.
Hello po. My question for
Hi.
you is, how does it feel to work in a field where media oppression and media killings are commonplace?
It's actually scary. It's scary because we just heard about Percy Lapid, yung mga ganong cases, nakakatakot. But for me naman, I've never felt na threatened ako by someone. But I fear for the other reporters who are out there, out loud, speaking their voices also. So I fear for their lives as well. I think the media killings has been very, very rampant even during the previous administration. So parang, syempre maingat lang on our part. And sa bawat profession naman, there's a risk eh. So this is our risk. This is the risk of the journalists in their profession. I'm scared, but I know that I am safe at work. I am safe with what I do.
Now that being a journalist is considered one of the most dangerous job in the country, what is your drive in continuing this job? What makes you stay in this industry despite having a threat to your life?
Because this is something that I love to do. I never realized that I really wanted it. When I was younger, I wanted to be a doctor, but then I realized this is something that I wanted to do, to bring information to the people. And aside from bringing information to them, to get to interact with people also. Because not only that I stay in studio, I also have yung mga beat ko. Like for example, I am assigned to the ASEAN Summit or pageants or entertainment or sports. So I get to meet a lot of people, and that's one thing that I really love about my job. And getting connections as well. And aside from that, I think it's the passion that the passion for work that I have. Parang ito talaga yung gusto ko na siyang gawin until I get old. So this is something that I wanted to do. I just have to keep on challenging myself para hindi rin ako ma-bored dun sa ginagawa ko.
May question po ako. Like, di ba po sabi niyo po, like, gusto niyo, yung course niyo po talaga is, ano po yung?
Sports science.
Sports science po.
It's rehabilitation science, yes.
Paano po pumasok sa isip niyo na maging journalist or like newscaster po?
Actually, it's not my plan talaga. Parang I just wanted to be a sportscaster when I was in second year college because ever since I was in high school, nakikita ko na yung mga basketball players and then yung mga courtside reporter. So I started from there. I did apply. Out of the 500 in ABS-CBN Talent Center, they got me as one of the sportscaster for US team. And ironically, lahat ng kalaban ko, com arts. So parang ang sinabi sa akin that time, oh, bakit kayo kumuha ng hindi taga-com arts? So parang na-offend ako, but I had to prove them wrong. So doon, nagdire-diretso ko from UAAP in 2003, tapos I did PBL games, tapos PBA games, tapos Shakey's D-League, PBL D-League, PBA D-Leagues, and then may UCBL Cup pa yan. And then after nun, UNTV saw me. Tapos parang sabi nila, sumali daw ako for the UNTV Cup, for the games naman ng mga government officials naman yun. So I said yes. And then they saw the potential. After 2 weeks ko mag-UNTV Cup, they saw the potential for me to join the morning show. Nag-host muna ako for the morning show for siguro mga 1-2 years. Then after that, dun pa lang ako sinabi na, salang ka na for news. Actually, I didn't had any idea on what to do with it. Parang nanibago ako because what I know is really hosting lang. Just doing corporate hosting, sportscasting. Pero yung news, medyo nahihirapan ako. Yung English news, wala akong naging problem with that. Pero yung Tagalog news, sobrang adjustment siya sa akin. Kasi ang hirap din ng malalim na Tagalog when it comes to news. So may mga times na talagang nabubulol ako, ganyan, pero bawal tumawa on TV. So parang wala talagang nag-train sa akin eh. Sinabak na nila ako biglaan for news. So it was a twist na coming from sportscasting, going into newscasting talaga. Ganun talaga yung nangyari sa akin. And up until now, so it's been parang 7 years na I've been doing news. So morning and night po siya.
In light of all the challenges you've experienced, have you ever considered quitting your job?
There was one time that I got burnt out. I tried to travel lang, but it never came to me na I wanted to quit my job. I really love bringing news to the people. I really love what I do. I really love my schedule. Yun pa yung isa sa akin eh. Importante sa akin yung schedule because flexi schedule kami dito. So I just do the morning news, which is until 8:30 in the morning only. And then after that, I can take care of my son. Kasi naging priority, I have to balance it. I have to balance work and then my son also. Because my son is turning 5 years old pa lang. So maliit pa siya. So gusto ko rin maging hands-on mom ako sa kanya. So hindi sumagi sa akin na I wanted to quit because ever since I'm really a workaholic person, I started working when I was 18 years old, doing sportscasting. And never naman ako nag-break until now. So parang from almost 20 years na ako in the business. And just find your purpose and just find what you really love to do. I think you will never quit that job.
Ma'am, hello po. Additional question lang po. Hindi na po siya kasama sa question po namin sa interview. Ano po mga masasabi niyo sa mga aspiring journalists na nagpo-pursue ng ganitong larangan despite the challenges po na kinakaharap, lalo ng mga nasa field po na to na media killings, yung mga ganun po. Ano po sabi niyo sa kanila as inspiration lang po para po magtuloy-tuloy ganun?
Sa mga journalists, saludo ako sa inyo because you are doing public service to the people. This is actually, you're bringing the truth to the people if you're bringing the truth. So I think what we're doing is a brave act of telling the truth, crossing the truth to the people out there. So maraming salamat for everything that you do because being a journalist is also parang, as I mentioned kanina, a risk in your life eh. Hindi naman lahat ng journalist nasa studio lang eh. May mga journalist na na-assign sila sa mga gera, na-assign sila kapag may bagyo, na-assign sila sa iba't ibang mga events dito sa ating bansa. So I guess it's mahirap maging journalist, but since you're still there and you're thriving at work, then malaking bagay po yun. Kasi sa atin lang naman umaasa yung publiko eh, para malaman nila what's happening here in the country. No journalist, hindi mo naman malalaman kung fake news lang yung binobroadcast ng isang tao. So, I think, yun yung masasabi ko sa lahat ng journalist na katulad ko. I don't really consider myself as a journalist nga eh. Parang, I just consider myself as a host, as a TV show host. Parang, pag sinabi mong journalist, mga bigati na yun eh, Karen Davila, like mga ganyan, Julius Babaw, mga ganon. So, and I've been doing news pa lang for 7 years. Ako, I have a funny story to share pala sa inyo. Before, when I was in high school, gusto ko talaga com arts. As in, nakapasa ako ng com arts sa Miriam. But then yung mother ko yung nag-push sa akin na mag-PT ako para kasama ko yung mga tita ko sa States, ganyan. So, physical therapy. So, yun, sa UST ako kasi gusto yun ng mama ko. But then look at me, where I am right now. Com-arts pa rin ako. Sabi ko sa mom ko, tingnan mo ma, dapat nag-com-arts na lang ako sa Miriam. Mas malapit pa sa bahay natin. Layo pa ng UST. Hindi ko rin na-practice yung pagiging therapy ko. Pero it's okay kasi parang eventually nakakatulong siya sa akin. I have that knowledge when it comes to mga anatomy, biology. So I can banter about it. So yun yung nakakatulong sa akin.
May question po ako. Like, di ba po, sabi nga po, hindi po parang, paano po niya nasabi na, para sa akin tong journal, newscasting na to, ganun. Yung, para sa akin talaga yung job na to. Paano niya po na-realize yun?
Dumating lang kasi siya eh, parang sunod-sunod yung blessing at that time na wait from being a sport. Sunod-sunod yung mga offer sa akin. I wanted to be a doctor sana. Kaya nga, mag-med sana ako. Kaya lang, sunod-sunod yung mga offer sa akin. So, parang doon na talaga ako dinidirect ni God. Parang na-realize ko na baka ito na talaga yung for me. Doon lang. Parang because iba yung plano ko, but this was the direction given to me. So parang tinanggap ko yung mga offer na yun kasi sayang naman eh. When I was younger, I just wanted to be on TV. I just wanted to be famous. But as you get older, you'll realize na yung pagiging famous ba, being on TV ba is sapat? Actually, it's not. What's sapat is that kailangan gusto mo yung ginagawa mo. Kasi pag hindi mo gusto yung ginagawa mo, wala. Wala. Just lang, for the sake na may magawa ka lang, gagawin mo siya. Pero hindi ka tatagal eh kapag hindi mo siya gusto. Maraming days, maraming challenges kasi sa journalist eh. Hindi mo alam kung saan ka ma-assign. Tapos may mga days na puyatan pa siya. May days na kailangan kahit puyat ka mag-isip kasi mabilis yung pasok ng balita, mabilis ka magsulat ng balita kasi ikaw mismo ang nagsusulat ng balita para i-report yun sa harap ng TV. So, ganun. Ngayon, medyo nami-miss ko yung days na nasa field ako compared sa nasa studio ka because yung sa studio, ano lang siya, basa ka lang sa prompter, banter ka lang ng konti, ganon. Yung sa field, it's more challenging talaga. Mas masaya ako sa field kasi I get to mingle with a lot of people and I get to see the actual event.
Can we ask you po kung ano po yung nangyayari sa studio, kung paano po lumalabas yung mga news, ganun po.
Okay. Sa studio kasi, may writer ka na. May producer ka na, may director ka pa. Ang writer, sila yung nagsusulat ng mga balita na. So, all you have to do as an anchor is basahin. Nasa teleprompter lang yan. So, binabasa mo lang yon. And then, when it says there, ad-lib or banter, that's the time. You can banter about something about that topic. Ganun siya. Ganun lang yung sa studio. Set up.
How about po yung sa field?
Sa field kasi, like for example, ASEAN Summit, I flew to Laos Laos kasi doon yung ASEAN Summit natin ng 2016. Pagkarating ko doon, pagkalapag ko doon, trabaho agad. Mo yung presidente, ganyan, magre-report ka. After ng report mo, susundan mo na naman yung presidente or ibang world leaders. Kailangan very snappy ka. Kasi kung hindi naman interesting yun, ba't mo pa ibabalita, di ba? Para baka mabore lang yung audience mo. Minsan umaabot kami ng hanggang mga 12 midnight. Tapos kinabukasan gigising ka ng 4 a.m. Ganun siya. Tapos lalakarin mo lang to kung saan man yung meeting, bilateral meetings ng Pangulo, ganyan. Pupunta kang ganun. Tapos, and yung news ko that time, assign ako sa Tagalog tsaka sa English. So I had to do both Tagalog and English news. So pag nagsulat ka ng Tagalog, kailangan i-convert mo rin siya sa English. Isisend ko sa producer, kung approve na ni producer, live na kami. Actually, may time naman yung live namin. May oras naman siya. I was also assigned to Miss Universe when it was held here in the Philippines. It was January 2017. Parang yung coverage namin was from Baguio, bababa ka, tapos the next day you'll be in Batangas. So bumabiyahe kami madaling araw, natutulog kami sa kotse lang. Batangas after Batangas, vegan after vegan, MOA. Yung mga tipong ganun. So matutulog ka lang talaga sa car. Yun lang yung pahinga mo talaga. On the go ka parate. Actually, namimiss ko siya kasi challenging siya. Tsaka mas masaya na makita yung event itself.
Ako po may
Another, ano po. Oh, sige.
Ang question ko po, ma'am, is mula umpisa hanggang ngayon po, ano po yung pinaka-memorable experience niyo po na hindi niyo po makakalimutan bilang isang reporter po?
Wait lang, most memorable experience ko was meeting the President Duterte. I think it's because na-challenge ako sa character niya. But when I interviewed him, parang sobrang approachable naman siya and okay naman siya. I think because I flew also to Laos that time. Tapos I interviewed other world leaders as well. Japan Prime Minister, Barack Obama was there. The different presidents here in Asia. So I think that was the most memorable for me. Kasi during the time, I also had personal challenges. So parang puyat ako ng ilang araw, tapos biglang sinabi sa akin na, oh, you have to go to Laos, lipad ka, ganyan. So parang doon ako na-challenge na yun yung pinaka-exciting part for me because natuwa ako na world leaders yung mga kaharap.
Ma'am, another question po. Paano niyo po naka-handle yung stress ng deadlines po ng news? Dahil yung public po is nag-expect ng news every day.
You have to read a lot. Kailangan knowledgeable ka rin talaga dun sa mga binabalita mo and to every event para at least hindi ka na mahihirapan. And good thing is that I was trained kasi in sportscasting. In sportscasting, alam niyo ba, pag huddle namin, agad-agad yun i-report mo na. Wala kang sinusulat i-report mo lang siya as is. Kung ano yung nakita mo doon sa game, kung ano yung narinig mo kay coach, ganun kami na-train sa ABS-CBN. So I think yun yung na-train ako sa ganun, mabilis lang ako gumawa ng report, mabilis ako mag-memorize ng reports ko. Kinukuha ko yung mga keywords na kailangan. So I'm very lucky lang siguro na doon ako na-train talaga. Sa sports talaga ang bilis namin mag-report. Kaya happy din ako na doon ako na-train. Kaya nung shift ko sa news, nung pinapagawa nila ako ng mga articles, actually okay siya sa akin. Hindi na ako masyadong nag-worry about it because may mga time naman yan may mga deadlines lang sila. So yun lang yung importante doon.
Ma'am,
Yes
may
po.
time po ba na nape-pressure po kayo? Pine-pressure po ng mga ng boss nyo or sa pag-report nyo po?
Na-pressure na ba ako? Na-pressure ako siguro ng mga bata-bata ako, ganyan, sa sportscasting because mabilis nga yung pacing namin. When it comes to news, ang na-pressure ako before was kapag may mga SONA coverages kami. Biglang, kunwari nasa batasan ka, biglang dadaan yung isang hindi mo kilalang politiko. So, doon ako napapressure. Pag hindi ko kilala, tapos kailangan mong interviewin. So, kailangan may knowledgeable ka talaga sa lahat ng mga tao. Especially, ang dami-dami naman natin mga legislators ngayon, di ba? So, each one of them, you have to know them. Paano pag hindi mo kilala talaga yung taong yun? What would you say, di ba? So, parang isa sa mga training namin was kailangan kilalanin namin lahat ng congressman, lahat ng senators, kilala mo dapat lahat yan. Para when you're there na, hindi ka na takot or hindi ka na mapapressure na, ano bang tatanungin ko sa kanya kasi hindi ko naman siya kilala. Usually, gano'n naman yung nakaka-pressure Hindi mo alam yung isang tao, kaya ka napapressure. Hindi mo alam yung itatanong mo sa kanya.
Okay po, thank you very much po for answering our questions and we all know naman po na mahirap po yung job as a journalist since kailangan po ng courage and passion para po ma-survive yung industry na to, and we as journalism students aspire to have journalistic values just like you possess. And to wrap this all up, here is Lhyca, Mariehl, Santiago to read the certificate of appreciation.
This certificate is proudly presented to Mrs. Rina Villamor Camara for lending her time to grant the request of an interview from the students from Bulacan State University for the completion of a requirement from the course Introduction to Journalism on the 10th of November 2022 via Zoom meeting. Signed by Princess Rain C, Czarina Gale Ogaña, Loise Dea Cruz, Red Olive de Arce, and Lhyca Mariehl Santiago. Thank you very much po, ma'am.
Thank you din po.